Hello, YouTube. One of my focused research areas is the confirmation of existence of advanced ancient civilization many thousands of years ago. I'm looking for the remaining evidence through mythology, archaeological finds, ancient writings, and other curious leads. Because of my background, I use a lot of Russian information, and here I have compiled for convenience the Russian Empire, USSR, modern Russia, and nearby countries. You can see my videos on the subject in the playlist titled India. If I make errors in the eyes of my Indian audience, please understand this is unintentional and please correct me as needed. Today I will discuss very unusual beings from ancient Bharat. Bharat is an ancient Sanskrit word which many historians believe dates back to early Hindu texts. The word means India in Hindi. In Indian mythology, there is a very interesting and little known phenomenon. This is a group of special tiny sages, rishis, who were the size of a thumb and were called Valahilias. In several Puranas, it is said that these sages dwell in the sun or near it, drink the sun's rays, and are the guardians of the solar chariot. And I will go through this video, and sometimes I'll repeat myself simply because of these different sources that I used to find out more about these tiny sages. But Puranas are a vast genre of Hindu literature about a wide range of topics, particularly about legends and other traditional lore. The Puranas are known for the intricate layers of symbolism depicted within their stories, composed originally in Sanskrit and in other Indian languages. Several of these texts are named after major Hindu gods such as Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, and Adi Shakti. And the Puranic genre of literature is found in both Hinduism and Jainism. Tamil literature generally says that the Valahilias live between the sun and the earth and take away excess sunlight and heat to protect people from its violent force. So Valahilias, thumb-sized ascetics accompanying the sun in its everyday travel in the sky. Who is an ascetic? A person who renounces material comforts and leads a life of austere self-discipline, especially as an act of religious devotion. Valahilias, they are protecting humanity by taking all the extra heat and acting like the ozone layer. They are 60,000 in number. They're shining like brilliant lights because of their severe penance. They used to hang upside down in the trees while doing penance. These are some of the most interesting facts about them that are found in Vedas, the epics and mythologies. The Vedas or the Vedas are a large body of religious texts originating in ancient India. Composed in Vedic Sanskrit, the texts constitute the oldest layer of Sanskrit literature and the oldest scriptures of Hinduism. But let's look more at the Tamil literature, about some more details about these strange kinds of ascetics. It turns out that in ancient times, the compilers of the Puranas and other sacred and mythological texts had ideas about ultraviolet radiation and its harm to people. Is it so? Let's take a closer look at who the Valahilias are, where they come from, and what legends are associated with them. So the first descriptions of the dwarf sages mentioned under the name Valahilias are found in the Taittiriya Aranyaka, a text that belongs to the literature of the Vedic period. Later in the Puranas, we see several other information bits about the little sages. They already say that the father of the Valakhilas was one of the Saptarishi, 7 great sages, named Kratu. In Indian religions, a rishi is an accomplished and enlightened person. They find mentions in various Vedic texts. By the way, unlike Saptarishi, their names are never written individually. They're always mentioned by the group. Kratu is described as one of the Manasaputras, the mind-born children of the creator deity Brahma in Hinduism. He is also a rishi who appears in 2 different ages. In the Vishnu Purana, it is said that one day a hair from Kratu's groin fell into a crack in the dry, cracked earth, and from this crack, Valakhilia emerged at that hour, each of which has the size of an ordinary person's thumb. Although the Valakhilias were the size of a thumb, they were incredibly powerful due to their piety and their constant practice of severe austerities. In addition, the same text reports that 60,000 of these rishis were born to Kratu's wife, whose name was Santadi. In the Ramayana and Mahabharata, there are also references to the rishi Valakhilia. Valakhilias live in the mandala of Surya, solar region. Mandala in Hindu and Buddhist Tantrism, a symbolic diagram used in the performance of sacred rites and as an instrument of meditation. The mandala is basically a representation of the universe, a consecrated area that serves as a receptacle for the gods and as a collection point of universal forces. The Valakhilias travel in front of the sun in the shape of birds. They wear hides of animals. So if I'm to use the 21st century analogs, I guess it could say that bird-like spaceships are operated by Valakhilias, and the hides of animals, a special spacesuit type of. Let's continue. They are righteous and they're only as big as a thumb, so small robotic creatures. They are very ardent in doing the works of devas. Deva means shiny, exalted, heavenly being, divine being, anything of excellence, and is also one of the Sanskrit terms used to indicate a deity in Hinduism. Deva is a masculine term. The feminine term is a little bit different. I'll get it in 1 second. You have to excuse me. The equivalent is Devi. The Valakhilias are sinless. There are Valakhilias living in the lunar region also. How interesting. So they're very active in what I could call space exploration, and the moon apparently had attracted previous civilizations on this planet also greatly. As to who the devas are, if you don't take the religious connotation, well, come up with your own hypothesis. Valakhilias, they worship the sun daily. All the world stands firm in truth because of the penance of the Valakhilias. But let's go back to our assumption that the ancient sages of Bharat knew about the dangers of solar radiation and how it is related to Valakhilias. Ancient Samgam Tamil literature mentions Valakhilias in Purana Anuru, Thirumuru Gatru Patai, and post-Sangam book Silap Padikakaram, and in the poems of the medieval poet Aruna Giri Nathar. The Rig Veda says that they originated from the hair of Prajapati Brahma. That there they are the guardians of the chariot of the sun. They are also called Harvas. The Vishnu Purana describes them as pious, chaste, and shining like the rays of the sun. That's a very interesting description, by the way. Tamil literature, in turn, says very clearly that the main task of this tiny but powerful and intelligent ascetics is to prevent people from getting burned by the sun. So I'm sure if we take my understanding and hypothesis of what I'm telling you, that they knew how the radiation affects people, and not only on the face of our planet, but in outer space. And that's what our cosmonauts and astronauts are facing too daily. The Valahilias are described as accompanying the sun on its daily journey through the sky. Yes, they serve to protect humanity by taking away all the excess heat, in fact being the embodiment of what modern science calls the ozone layer. The tiny rishis are described here as shining like bright lights due to their severe penance. It is said that they feed only by absorbing excess solar heat, and this is the service of the little sons of Kratu Rishi. Some Tamil books also say that the Valahilias got their power from the deity Skanda and the goddess Durga. Another story in Hindu mythology says that the sun has to fight a group of demons called Mando Karunar daily in order to survive. The Valahilias stand next to the sun in this battle. Interesting. Whether this story has a scientific basis or is just a myth is difficult to say, but perhaps Mando Karunar is a reference to the danger of solar flares or magnetic storms. We know this perfectly well in the beginning, so to say, of the 21st century. In any case, those descriptions of Valahilias that are found in ancient texts, and especially in Tamil literature, resemble the description of the ozone layer that protects people from harmful ultraviolet rays. One can only wonder what the authors of the Vedas, Puranas, and Tamil epics had ideas about the ozone layer and the danger of ultraviolet radiation, and told about it in mythological form using the image of the Valahilias. Or maybe Valahilias were not part of the mythology, but real creatures, the defenders. So maybe they were not a myth, but technologically developed humanoids or robots designed to protect mankind. A technology that we may not have a comprehension of as yet, or do we? I found this interesting piece of information not long ago. Intelligent robotics systems are becoming essential for carrying out work in harsh environments, both at the CERN and in industry. That is why scientist Mario de Castro's work on intelligent robots capable of conducting various activities in contaminated areas caught the interest of CERN's Knowledge Transfer KT group, which scouts for unique knowledge and cutting-edge technologies throughout the organization to maximize its global positive effect on society. Did you hear about it? Physicists and engineers at CERN use the world's largest and most complex scientific instruments to study the basic constituents of matter, fundamental particles. At an intergovernmental meeting of UNESCO in Paris in December 1951, the first resolution concerning the establishment of a European Council for Nuclear Research was adopted. And apparently they're trying to create robots that can carry out work in harsh environments, and maybe, if it's not them, that's another group that is trying to have positive effects, positive global impact on society, as they say. Maybe they're trying to create robots too that can absorb radiation, and hopefully for peaceful purposes. So let's not be gloomy. Let's be positive and believe them. So that's what I wanted to let you know today about these very interesting creatures from the stories of Bharat, of ancient India. And if you like my research, please support me through the links you will find in the description to this channel. Please like my videos. Please tell others about my work. And please subscribe to my channel, like I said. And thank you for all your attention to my work. More to come.